Hey, good morning, everybody. We are back in Calatina's kitchen, cooking with Calatina. And today I'm going to do a quick chili for lunch and to take to the boys. And I wanted to show you how to make Greek coffee. Okay, so I want to start out by saying Greek coffee is made in a specific container. Okay, like I'll give you an example. Make sure my volume is up because I had turned it down. All right, so let me grab this before I turn my phone off here. Okay, so this is the container that we make the Greek coffee in, okay? Now mine's quite old. My handle is like ready to bust off, but I'm just trying to show you. Now this one here is for big cup, big American cup of coffee, okay? The Greek coffees are petite and tiny. I have to show you on another live what they look like, but they're very small. And so this would make like 2 to 3 of those, okay? So normally when you go to a Greek cafe, they make them in a real small one for individual servings. Now this one is for one big cup of coffee, or a few individual ones, okay? So I'm going to use this one. But if you don't have this type, where it's got the little spout right here where it pours out, I really don't care how I make my coffee or where I make my coffee. It could be a small saucepan. All I do is take my coffee cup, fill it with water, pour it in there, so I know that the water that's in here is going to fit my cup. Okay? So I've done it in a bigger one. It doesn't really matter as long as you trust in the process of how to make coffee and know how to make the Greek coffee, okay? So let's do that real quick before we go on to the dish. Excuse me. Okay, stick an apron on, so I don't want to get splattered. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my coffee cup. Okay, so I've got my coffee cup, and I'm going to go ahead and pour it in here. Very simple, okay? I'm going to pour that in there, and I know that that's going to fit. And even if you put the coffee and the sugar, so what, you'll have a little bit left over on the bottom. Now that's because I'm making a big cup. If you're making a smaller cup, then that's the water you're going to stick in there, okay? Got that so far? Okay. So here's my water. In the cold water, all right, I am putting in, down just a little bit, I am putting in my Greek coffee, all right? Now, Greek coffee is very fine. It's even finer than the American espresso, or, you know what I mean? It's way fine. I'll show you. It's like powder. It is like powder. It's milled. I'm gonna say it's milled to perfection. That's how powdery it is. Okay, it's like powdered sugar. That's how powdered it is. All right, so it smells really good. Now the brand that I usually get is called Lumides. Is called Lumides. Okay, looks like that. It's got the parakeet on there. It's got a tag on there, but it's got a parakeet with a coffee cup. Okay, it's got the beans, it's got the green, and it's called Lumides. Okay, where do you find that? So take a snapshot of that if you wanted to try it. Now this is a bigger one. This is a how many ounces is this bad boy? It's 490 grams. So it's a big one. Now I bring these from Greece. Where do you buy them from? You can order them from Chicago. You can order them from Kalamazoo, other areas of the United States. Mainly, you can go online and say Greek coffee, Lumides, L-O-U, Loumidis, Lumidis, okay? Now, you can go to Kronos International Shipping, Kronos International Shipping. Anywhere where they ship internationally from Greece, you can get this, okay? All right, one time I said, can you guys bring this at Myers? Because it's like a pain. I bring 2 luggage when I go to Greece. I bring 2 luggage. And then I leave or give away or leave, one luggage. And then I come back with one, I come back with 1 luggage with my clothes that I want to bring back. And then 1 luggage is full of coffee, orzo, because the Greek orzo is a little different than the American orzo. I bring back, of course, my spices. Everything that's legal, I bring it. You know what I mean? I bring back, like I said, everything that I can't find here easy because I'm in a small town. Detroit is 3 hours from me. Chicago is 3 hours from me. So it's easy, easier for me to bring it with me, and I know it's in my house, than to go searching for it. Okay, so that's what I do. I just stock up 1 luggage of everything. Sometimes I'll bring this dry toast called paksimadi, or Cretan rolls, and I'll just go order them while I'm there, and then they'll make them for me, and then I'll just pack them away, you know what I mean, in my luggage. So this is the coffee that's in that tin can there that I had already opened up one of those. So that's what's in there. And the container I have a little lid on it to seal the flavor, and then this here seals the flavor even more, because coffee, the aroma of this rich coffee will dissipate if you don't seal it properly, okay? So if you're going to seal it in Ziploc bags, for example, seal it in 2, all right? That way you don't lose the aroma, all right? Okie dokie. So I'm going to show you how I like my coffee. Now, there's different ways to make this coffee. Like, I might like it sweet and heavy. I might like it medium. What medium is medium coffee, medium sugar. I want it metrio, medium, okay? So they don't want it heavy on the coffee, and they don't want it heavy on the sugar. They want it kind of just right, where it's a little bit of bitterness with a little bit of sweetness, all right? Okay, so I like my coffee medium on the coffee, but heavier on the sugar, because I love sugar. So I'm gonna go with a teaspoon, but I'm not gonna do this kind of teaspoon, all right? I'm not gonna do, this kind of teaspoon where it's flat, all right? I want a heap or a tablespoon. But the tablespoon, I would want it flattened, because that's way too much. So let me go over here. And show you. I would probably want, I always go back and forth, all right, just like that. It still has a little heap, but not very much, all right? So I'm gonna put that in the water, and I'm gonna see. That's good. I am gonna put in just a little bit more, like a half more teaspoon. Okay, so that's perfect for me, all right? Now, sugar. I'm definitely gonna put, I always have things double bagged, but I'm definitely gonna put in 1 whole come on, and 1 teaspoon, because I love Greek coffee very sweet, okay? That's how I serve it when people come to my house. I serve it that way. If they tell me that they drink the American coffee black, I'm still gonna put in there a half teaspoon to a teaspoon in there for them, because Greek coffee is heavy. All right, it's not like the watered down American. It's heavy. It's got body, it's got texture, it's everything, okay? So, all right, so I put that in there. Whoop, just spilled it out for you. So that's all in there, okay? Now I gotta clean up my mess. All right. I'm gonna put it on the fire. I'm gonna stir it first. Stir it real good so that the sugar and the coffee mix in together with the water. Mix it well. It's not the only time I'm gonna mix it, okay? So I'm gonna turn on my flame. If I can turn that sucker on, there we go. And I'm gonna put it on, I usually like to cook it on this one here, but I gotta start on the food. So I'm just gonna leave it there on medium heat, okay? Now I'm going to stir it again in a second because when the heat finally gets into the water, then it dissolves the sugar better and the coffee. So I need to stir it one more time, okay? I always stir it once or twice, sometimes 3 times, depending on how I feel, all right? All right, let me clean up my mess here real quick because I got coffee everywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter. We're making chili. If a little coffee goes in there, it's no big deal, okay? Don't freak out on me now. It's okay. All right. So, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put some olive oil. I always use olive oil. I never use, again, about 4 tablespoons. I use vegetable oil when I'm frying fries, when, you know, for Lent, because we're not allowed to have oil on specific days. Real oil, that's the olive oil. So I would use a little bit of vegetable oil. Or, you know, if somebody doesn't like a heavy oil, like the Greek oil, then I'll use the vegetable oil, you mean? But usually, just for frying, I use vegetable oil. Now, in Greece, they use regular oil to fry. So, you know, regular oil for us is olive oil. All right, so let me flip this around a little bit. See if I can get it down there for you. Sorry about my little coffee spill, but that's okay. So we're doing chili, so I don't have to be so fine on the onion, okay? So I can chop it up a little bit bigger. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're putting beans in there, remember? So the size of the bean is kind of like the size of what I'm cooking everything in. So remember, always remember that. Whatever you're putting in something, you kind of follow suit on the size of the rest of the products you're sticking in there. So that when you get a spoonful of stuff, you know, you're getting a spoonful of the same size. So your mouth is not saying, oh, I got a little something in there and then I got a bigger piece of this. You always want to make sure that you have equal size, okay? All right, so here's the rest of my onion that's got some coffee in it. That's okay. We are okie dokie. All right, so that's an onion. Sometimes I'll put an onion and a half. So I'm gonna go ahead and brown my onion first to get that good deep flavor of it. And then I'll put my hamburger. Now I'm doing a small packet of hamburger. It weighs a pound, you know, a pound, 1.1 pounds in this particular packet, okay? I'm going to go ahead and chop up my green pepper. Remember, we want it all to kind of be similar size. I'm not going to put too much pepper because, like I said, my hubby don't like it. I might cut up some smaller pieces. How much pepper did I put in there? I'd probably say about the same amount as I used in my previous live. Let me measure it and I'll tell you, okay? I'll measure it for you. All right, let me see. I'd probably say that it's about a half a cup. I mean, if you're doing cups or whatever, or maybe even a fourth of a cup. Let me look. Here's the thing with cooking, you cannot be perfect, okay? It's got to be by the eyeball sometimes, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is about a half a cup. If I push it all down, it's a half a cup, all right? Some people like green onions and they want more. They'll put a full cup in there, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's how you like things. Like I know my husband, he don't like pepper. I'm not going to put too much pepper. My son loves it. I love it. He don't love it too much, but he'll eat it if it's kind of incorporated in other stuff, okay? All right, so my oil is pretty hot, so I think we'll be okay to put the onions in. Cut up a couple of other small ones. All right. Here's the thing. It doesn't bother me that it has, I pour a little coffee in there because it's going to be brown in the sauce, right? In the chili sauce. And maybe that coffee might give it a little flavor. You never know, right? So just don't be afraid of cooking. Just cook to cook for the love of cooking. You know what I mean? All right, so I want to show you something, but I'm going to take you off of here real quick, okay? All right. Do you see? Do you see how it's bubbling around there? Around the edges. Are you able to see it? Around the edges, see it? You got to watch your coffee. Boom, there you go. See how it folded over? All right, your coffee is done. Seriously. When that side starts to boil, but not boil like boil, and it slowly flips your coffee over, get it off the fire. You're done, okay? So it's that easy to make coffee. You don't need to be afraid of it, but you need to be on top of it and you need to keep an eye on it. And I've made thousands of coffees, so, you know, and why do we do that? Okay, I'll show you. Now it's got a foam on top, right? So that foam, you slowly pour it. And here you go, you have a froth. You understand? It's not just black coffee, you have a white froth on top. And that is how you know you've made a good cup of Greek coffee. All right? Capisco? Capiche. Oh, not flying. So I'm just getting the onions to be a little translucent. We already talked about that. Where they change color from white to a little light brown. And they're kind of see-through a little bit. They're not solid color anymore. Alright. And they get a little brown. Alright. I'll show you. I will show you, my friend. Alright. Very good. So that's browning. Now that it's browned a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead because I can smell a cooked onion. Remember what we said, any layers of anything that we stick in food, we smell to make sure that it changed from raw smell to a cooked smell, okay? That's important. This is what was taught to me by my mother. So now that I've cooked the onion a little bit and I've got that color that I want and the smell that I want. It's not raw anymore. Now I'm throwing in the raw meat for it to also get that cooked onion flavor in it, okay? And again, I chop it up in little pieces so that I don't have to do a lot of work, but not like the sauce where I really mixed it and chopped it up a lot. I want it to be more chunky, okay? Because we're talking chili. Now this is gonna feed us for lunch. It feeds 3 of us for lunch. It's probably gonna cook for 4 people. So that pound is probably a 4-person meal, okay? Now, let's say, you know, you have another dish, a side dish, hamburgers and chili or whatever, you know, then obviously they can have a bigger bowl of chili than a regular bowl of chili, all right? Or you could feed more family members. Probably by the time I'm done, you can probably feed 6. But, all right, so I don't want to chop it up too much and manipulate it too much, all right? Not like yesterday. Let me take you off the thing again. It's gonna be like that. All right? Sorry I'm making you dizzy, but it's a little easier for me to do that. Woo! Hallelujah! All right. So you learned about coffee. We're just making my version of chili, all right? Nothing, you know, everybody's got their own version. I'm just gonna do mine that I know is a guarantee that my family loves, okay? Your family might love your recipe. And then again, who knows, right? Do they really love your recipe? Or if you try somebody else's recipe, oh, they're gonna say, wow, what did you do to your chili? You never know, right? Okay. So I'll let that cook a little bit. Got my onion in there. I'm gonna put my pepper in there in a little bit so it can work its way in there too. So here's the deal. I went shopping a couple days ago, and normally what I do is I put the tomatoes that I want to put in there, and then like a can or 2 cans of small chili cans. A couple days ago I went out, I couldn't find the chilies, so I found this one here that says petite diced tomatoes, and it's got onions, celery, green peppers in there, but I'm sure it's not going to be the quantity that I'm going to put in there. But you know what, it's kind of like the same ingredients in a can, okay? So it kind of makes it a little bit more simpler for somebody that doesn't want to go through and chop everything up. But I did find one that had green chilies. It's got the tomatoes with the green chilies, all right? So definitely I want to put in there a regular diced, not a petite dice, a regular diced, because we've cut everything up, you know, similar size. So I'm going to put one of these in there definitely. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put, I've already got onion and green pepper. All I need is a little celery. So I'll cut up a little celery. So I'm going to use this one for next time. But I'm definitely going to use the one with the little chilies in it. And then, of course, I'm going to spice it up to the flavor that I want, okay? Let me open those up and get those ready. I'll get that one ready. Now, normally I put in there 2 cans of beans. But here's the thing, I don't like beans. I hate beans. It's a meal that I really don't want to eat. But if it's in chili, I'm good with it, because there's meat in there. There's, you know, other stuff in there to take me away from the texture. It's textural for me, you know what I mean? From the texture of the bean. Now put brown beans in front of me, I'll eat like a whole bowl because I love the sweetness of the brown sugar and all that. It's just, you gotta just take me away from what it is. I hate the big red ones. Hate them. Hate them. You know, I go to Wendy's and I go buy chili, right? And they have so many of those red beans in there. I hate them. You mean I gotta flick them all out, give them to the dog. Probably not the good thing to do, but that's what I do. I hate them. Just do not like them at all. All right, let me open up my, I use these. Okay, light red. They're not red. They're not the big ones, they're the smaller ones. So that way I don't get that many in there in my spoon. And then I'm gonna open 2 of those. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and strain them because I do not like the sauce that's in there. Some of you probably like the sauce. I like to rinse them because I don't know what flavor is in there, right? And so it's gonna ruin the flavors of what I'm trying to do in my food, right? So I always rinse them out. I mean, I don't completely, take it out completely off, but the majority of whatever that sauce is that's in there, I take it out. I don't want it to, These are quite big. Usually they're smaller. I wonder if I grabbed the wrong... Oh, I grabbed the kidneys, didn't I? I grabbed the ones I don't like. That's crazy. That's all right. I'll pick them out. I thought it was the smaller ones. Tina, when you go to the grocery store, you gotta read the packaging, man. All right. So now, I want to put in there a little bit of garlic. Some garlic cloves and garlic powder. Because I want that flavor of the garlic in there. My fire's on low medium, okay? So it's not, I've got 4 tiny cloves. They're not very big. So you would put 2 big ones, okay? I got 4 of them. I use it all up. It doesn't matter. All right, and I'm not going to cut them up in small chunks. I'm just going to cut them up in, like, this one would be in 3 pieces, okay? That was a bigger one. All right, so I chopped them up like that size, okay? So I'm gonna put them in there too. Get them to smell a little bit. Some of you like more garlic, just put more garlic. Some of you like more onion, put more onion. I was supposed to put another onion in there, but I got lazy. So, I mean, usually I put a couple onions in there. Okay, so that's in there. Now I want to go ahead and do I want to coat the top. I don't mean coat like that deep. I mean, I'm coating, just a layer of garlic. Probably a good, I'd say a good 2 teaspoons. Okay, because I like garlic. If you don't like garlic, then just go with 1. All right. If you don't like garlic at all, don't put any garlic and just put your other flavorings in that you like and your other spices that you like, okay? I'm going to let that sit on the meat for a second before I go to the next step. Mix that in. And I'm looking for my... Okay, I'm looking for my chili powder. I'm going to put a little bit of a chipotle chili in there. I'm going to put in, where's my, See, I'm not the only one that cooks in this house, so my son goes through all my stuff too, and then I never know. I never know what in the world he's done with it. Huh. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to put a little bit of Mrs. Dash in there as well. Again, coating the meat. I'm going to put a little bit of salt. Salt to taste. I probably put in there a good teaspoon of that in there. There's my pepper. I'm going to put some black pepper in there to taste. You have to have imagination. You know, the cooking is an art, all right? So if you expect, look, in baking it's different. In cooking it's different, okay? In baking, yes, you want to be precise on your ingredients to make sure that what comes out is what is supposed to come out, okay? That's different. But in cooking, you have to have some imagination. You have to get confidence in yourself that, you know what? Whatever I'm going to put in there, it's going to give an extra flavor to my dish, and it's going to be amazing. And so you just imagine the taste. That's what I do. I imagine the taste in my mouth of what I have done before and try to do the same or improvise it to a better level. That's exactly what I do. All right, so if you're looking for someone to cook with teaspoons and all that stuff, it ain't me, okay? This is you know, raw Tina. What I'm showing you is how to be a home cook, non-professional, a home cooked person where you can confidently, you know, make a meal for your family. That's exactly what I'm doing, okay? All right, so that's done. It's got that aromatic flavor to it. I'm going to go ahead and put my chili in there. Here, let me put a teaspoon in there. I'm going to put a tablespoon of chili, and then I'm going to try it out, okay? When I get the sauce in there and see how it is. All right, so that's a tablespoon of chili. And that's exactly to the edge of it, all right? It might need more, but right now that's what I put in there. So when you're cooking with Tina, with Calatina, you want to make sure you have a pencil and paper so that as I'm putting stuff in, you just keep adding to that. You keep adding to that number. So we already know that we put chili powder as a tablespoon, okay? I pretty much give you the recipe. You just got to listen and just, you know, write stuff down. And as I add more, you just say with a little extra or whatever. All right, so that is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and put in there this chipotle chili. This is a new one. So I'm not going to put a whole lot because I don't know the product, but I'm not scared to try the product, okay? So I'm going to put in there a teaspoon of it. Okay? Come on. All right, well, pretty close. All right, because it's got that chipotle flavor to it. Oh, there you go. So it's new. We'll see how my family reacts to that. I'm definitely going to put in some thyme, not rosemary like yesterday. I don't want to put rosemary. I want to put thyme in there, okay? And so the thyme is like that, little flakes, all right? This is from Greece, and I smell, but we can find this in the supermarkets. It's called thyme. But now the thyme you might find could be grated really fine. That's okay too. It's the same thing. But I like all natural, the way it comes off the plant. Just ugh, I love it. I'm going to go ahead and put in a teaspoon of that. because it is very flavorful, but you don't want to overdo it, okay? And I'm definitely going to put in some of my allspice balls in there. If you can also put like a little bit of cinnamon in there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put in there 5 of them. And these spices now are going all over the meat, you know what I mean? As the meat is just browning. And so the raw spices I stuck in there, I'm starting to get the flavors. You know how sometimes you see the chefs where they take a pan and they they grind up all their seasonings and then they roast them just for a quick second to get that from the raw seasons to a cooked seasoning. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing here in my meal. It's just that I'm not going through the whole process. I'm actually seasoning, you know, cooking my excuse me. That is the chipotle or something. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of Greek seasoning. I got this off, I can't remember, it was a show, a house party that I went to. It's called Epicure seasonings. And so this one has, in it has 2 tablespoons, it says 2 tablespoons with 1/3 of olive oil and red wine vinegar, and makes you, you know, your sauce or whatever. But I just want to put in there like a teaspoon of that. Probably a heaping teaspoon, okay? So I want to put that in there because that has oregano. It has other Greek spices in there too. So it probably has thyme in there too, but it's oregano. I do have oregano from Greece. I'm going to sneeze one more time. Oh, my goodness. It's the spice. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. It's nice and dark. Okay. Sorry. Don't mean to dizzy you. I don't mean to dizzy you. All right, so now we're going to go ahead. I can smell because I'm, you know, ready to blow my nose. But I'm going to go ahead and add my tomatoes in there. I'm going to go ahead and add my peppers in there too. So this is going to be a nice chunky spoonful of give it a second to give that tomato rawness a little cook session. I'm going to go ahead and put my green peppers in there. Now in my Greek sauce a recipe that I did, not yesterday but the day before yesterday, you can also put pepper, green pepper, but I wouldn't chop it up. I would just cut it up in big strands because you never know, some people like my husband, he doesn't like that, but the flavor is also amazing in the sauce. And I didn't do that a couple days ago because I had so many other products in there. But that also gives it a really nice flavor too, okay? And then I cut them big size, and then I just kind of fish them out. And that way, nobody sees the peppers, and, you know, they're all happy. All right, so that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add the, wow, these are huge. Well, Tina, oh, I got to pour in the chili, the little chilies in there as well. probably feed, I mean, big bowls for sure, definitely 4 big bowls. I mean, I'm talking big bowls, not bowls, big bowls. So you could probably get about 4 or 5 bowls out of it. I don't think I'm going to add the rest of it. I think I'm just going to do 1 can instead of 2 because I just don't like them, and so that's why I'll just put them in the refrigerator and cook them in something else later. This is like, usually I get the small ones, the tinier ones where they kind of disappear. But yeah, these are not disappearing, so I don't want any more. All right, so I want to put some water in that. So I've got 1 can. I'll put 2 cans of water. Make sure you scrub the bottom of the pan because you were browning that meat and all those spices and they're stuck on the bottom, and that's going to give it a nice deep flavor. Okay. I'm also putting a couple of green onions, but I put that towards the end. I don't want them to be dissolved in there, okay? All right, so now we're going to wait and see if we need more spices of something, okay? Actually, I'm going to try that right now. Oh my gosh, it is hot. My husband's going to love that. My husband's going to love that. He going to love that. Nice and spicy. I'm going to put a little bit of ranch dressing in there because I don't like it that spicy. If you're eating chili that's burning the insides of you, then that's not good. But he'll love that. But you know what? There's more people in the family. And I'm not going to be doing all the cooking and then not have a chance to eat it. So, well, come on, ranch. Maybe I'll just stick my knife in there and open that up. So I'm going to put a little bit of ranch in there to kind of calm down the heat. Like 1, 2, 3. How's that? Write that down. Because whenever you put some type of a milk product in there, it tends to calm it down a little bit. You mean? I can turn this into white chili and just put sour cream, you know, and just make it all. But I've changed the color from this dark color to a lighter color now. All right, because I put a little bit of the white classic ranch. Okay. So then we're going to taste it again, but, you know, we'll let that boil. It needs to boil and cook. And turn up the heat a little bit. And that's what I do. Now, once I taste it, I'm definitely going to put some parsley, okay, in the end. My scallions at the end. And then, if it's still way too spicy, then I think it was the chipotle. I think what it was this one here. The chipotle chili. I'm glad I only stuck a small amount in there. So maybe if you don't want it that hot, you just eliminate that. Next time I'm only going to put a little bit of that. I mean, it's good, but you know, it needs to be okay where you're not sick, right? Where it doesn't make you sick to eat it, but you can still eat it. All right, so I'm going to let that cook down. I I am going to put a little bit of red wine in there. Okay, just a little bit to give it that little deep flavor. Just a little bit, not too much. I'm going to open that up because it's got to fumigate. I call it fumigating. And I think the chilies that were in that can plus the chipotle just really made it. My son loves white chili and my husband loves white chili, but usually I don't make white chili with hamburger. I make it with the chicken. You mean? But hey, why not make it with you know, with regular meat, right? Nice. It calmed it down. It did. By putting in there that 1, 2, 3 squirt, it actually gave it a little bit of sweetness, and it calmed down the volume of the heat that hits you in the back of the throat. So that's good. And if you want more, you just put more, you know what I mean? But both of my family members love it hot, so I'm just going to leave it alone. All right, I'm going to let that wine get its alcohol level out. And then the chili is done. Okay? I'm going to leave it open just a little bit for the fumes to come out. All right, is there any questions? Make sure that, I know that I'm not live and these are all recorded, okay? That's why I'm trying to get my subscriptions to 1,000. Because once we hit 1,000 subscribers, then I can go live with you. And then I could cook while you're live. You can ask me questions. You know, you could cook with me at the same time, right? And then I could say, okay, put a little bit of that or don't put that. And you'll get a little bit more personable, you know, feeling, a personal relationship with me while we're cooking, okay? So tell your family, tell your friends and coworkers and neighbors, people you love, people you don't love. It doesn't really matter. Tell them to come on and subscribe. It'll really help me a lot because I really want to go live with you guys to be able to teach you guys what I know. Not just show you and talk about it, but like get into, you know, why you don't use this spice or why, you know, I mean, just everything. Just be more personable with you, okay? I'm just going to let that cook. And then, like I said, if it's missing something, I'm going to put exactly the same spices in there. You do it by taste. If it needs a little bit more chili powder, if it needs a little bit more salt, if it needs a little bit more pepper, you know, you're just going to put that in there and just keep trying. Don't just think it's going to be okay. Like, for example, the can that I opened up with the chilies, okay? If I left that alone, that probably would have been not spicy enough. When I added that extra chipotle chili, that kicked it up a notch, like 2 notches, 10 notches. So, you know, always do smaller portions first, and that's you know, a message to everybody, including me. Always do, you know, small portions first and taste. Always taste your food to make sure that you want it to where you want it, not to where the spices and the ingredients want it to be, okay? I'm going to go ahead and chop up some parsley so I can put in at the end. Chop up my chives. And I am going to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese in there. Just a little bit. Not now, towards the end. You mean to give it a little bit of extra flavor. Other than that, it's boiling. It's cooking. It's probably going to take... it's probably going to cook for, you know, 30 minutes, I'm sure. It's been cooking all this time, so our meat is almost done anyway. But you want to be able to cook in the rest of the stuff. So, otherwise, it's done. Enjoy your Greek coffee when you make it. Okay, I'm going to drink mine now before I go to work. I'm all dressed, ready to go. And I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. And I don't know what's on the menu. Usually I know, but tomorrow, I don't know. I'll have to check. I want to do the chicken. I want to do the red wine chicken with rice, with white rice. That's exactly what I want to do, but I don't know. We'll see when I wake up. Sometimes I wake up too late and then, you know, larger amount of dishes that I can't do, I don't do. And then I just do real quick dishes like Hamburger Helper and just scoop them up. All right, so that is it for today. Thank you so much. My chili's cooking. You don't need to stick around for 30 minutes while my chili is cooking. And then I'm going to taste it again, make sure everything's okay, and then I'm off to work, okay? Have a great day. Love you guys, and thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. And let's watch me grow, you know, on YouTube. So thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.